Hello, my name is Isabella Fry, and today I'm going to be teaching a second grade level lesson about the parts of speech. My content objectives are that after the students hear my presentation, they will be able to decide what part of speech a word is. They will be able to organize the words that I give them onto a graphic organizer, and they will be able to label the words of a sentence I give them under the right category of the parts of speech. For their language objectives, my students will be able to verbally define the parts of speech, respond during class, and write sentences and label the parts of speech that they use. I do not have a class to teach in front of today, so I will be staging my lesson. Hello, second graders. Today, as our English lesson, we are going to learn about the parts of speech. Can anybody tell me what a sentence is made out of? You're right, a sentence is made out of words, but what kind of words? While there are different categories that words fit into, we call those the parts of speech. There are 8 different categories, but today we are going to talk about 6. Each category has its own function, so it's important that we know the function of each type of word so that we are able to improve how we read, how we speak, how we listen. Knowing the function of the parts of words is going to help with all of that. So let's talk about the 6 parts of speech we're going to learn about today. We are going to learn, and say these with me as I write them down. We are going to learn about nouns, articles, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, and lastly, we're going to learn about adverbs. Okay, let's take a look at those. The first one we're going to talk about today is nouns. Does anybody know what a noun is already? Right. It is a person, a place, or a thing. So let's look at some examples. Let's say Drew sat at his desk at school. Okay, so we already know that nouns are a person, a place, or a thing. Does anybody see a person, a place, or a thing in the sentence? Drew sat at his desk at school. Right? Drew is a person, and since we have a name, we capitalize it, and we call those proper nouns. We already know that we capitalize our names, right? We do that every day. What's another one that we see? Right, desk is a thing, and school is a place. So we have a person, a place, and a thing. And that's what a noun is. Talk to your shoulder partner about 2 more examples of noun. They can be person, a place, or a thing. Okay, now let's talk about articles. Does anybody know what an article is? An article lets us know that a noun is coming. So when we're talking about, let's use dog and apple. Okay, so if I'm saying she's going to walk a dog, a lets us know that the noun dog is coming. So an article can be the word a, but there's another one that we can use too, and that is an. So when we use the word a, it's going to be before a consonant. Give me a thumbs up if you remember what a consonant is. Very good. Now give me 2 thumbs up if you remember what a vowel is. Great. So what is a in apple? It's a vowel. Very good. So before a vowel, we are going to use an. So what if our word was book? Would we use a or an? Is B a consonant or a vowel? A consonant, so we're going to use a. Very good. What about for owl? Are we going to use a or an? O is a vowel, so we're going to use an. Very good. Okay, now we're moving on to our third part of speech, which are pronouns. Pronouns are what we use to replace nouns. So we could say, Gary has brown hair. Or if we've been talking about Gary and we know who we're talking about, instead of saying Gary, we could replace that with he has brown hair. So some of our other pronouns, other words like he, are she, we, I, me, and they. Those are a lot of the ones we're going to use. So we could say we go to the movies instead of Sally and George go to the movies. Or Sally and I go to the movies. We can say we go to the movies. Or I can say they come to me, and that uses they and me. Turn to a shoulder partner and come up with a sentence that has a proper noun in it, so a name, and then change that to a pronoun. Okay, eyes back to the front. We are going to talk about verbs now. Verbs are our action words. We use verbs every day. Let's see. A sentence with a verb in it would be, let's use something else. The girl jumped. The verb is going to be what they are doing. So what is the girl doing in the sentence? She jumped, right? So jumped is our verb. What are some other actions that we do? I heard walk, that's a good one. Talk, we run, we spin. Great ideas, perfect. So verbs are our action words. It shows what we are doing. Okay, now let's move on to adjectives. Adjectives are what we call describing words. What does it mean to describe something? Right, it explains something in more detail. So, what are some words that we could use when talking about the word cat? because we know adjectives describe nouns, and cat is a noun. Very good. So what are some describing words we could use for cat? I heard cute. Cats can be cute. Great job. What else? Fluffy. Take a second to talk to a shoulder partner and come up with one more example. Okay, what's another example? Orange. Great, colors are great words to use to describe something. Cats can be orange. Okay, what is one more? Awesome, I heard soft. Very good. So adjectives do what? They describe a noun. Very good. Turn to your partner and find a word that you can use to describe the shirt they are wearing today. Okay, now we are going to move on to adverbs. Adverbs are also description words, but instead of describing nouns, they can describe verbs, adjectives, or they can describe other adverbs. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Ryan walked carefully. Okay, so in this sentence, we have Ryan, and what kind of word is Ryan? Ryan is a noun, proper noun, very good. What is walked? Walked is an action, so it's a verb. Great job. So carefully describes how Ryan is walking. It's not describing Ryan himself, it's describing the action he's doing, which makes it an adverb. Very good. So carefully is our adverb in the sentence. So like I said, adverbs can describe verbs. Great job. Let's look at another example. Okay, so let's say she talked very loudly. Okay, let's go back through and say what everything is. She is a pronoun because we're replacing a name with a pronoun. Very good. What is the word talked? Anybody know? It's the action she's performing, right? So that makes it a verb. Great job. Okay, let's skip this one for now. Loudly is describing the way that she talked, and talked is a verb. So what does that make loudly? An adverb. Great job. Why not an adjective? Because adjectives describe nouns, and talked is a verb. Great job. So we have a description word before an adverb. And I said that adverbs could describe verbs, adverbs, and adjectives. And very is describing an adverb. So this is another adverb. Great job. We're going to look at one more example. Let's see. He was very nice. He is a pronoun. What is nice? Adjective. And very is describing adjective. So what is very? An adverb. You guys are doing great. Perfect job. Okay, now let's take out the graphic organizers. Should have got one that looks like this. Pull that out. Okay, we're going to come up with examples. One example for each word. So start thinking with your shoulder partner about what we could use for our examples. And you can even start writing some down. Okay, so what is an example of a noun? A backpack. Perfect job. What about an article? A, and what's the other one you know? An. Good job. What about a couple pronouns? I heard he. I heard me. One more. She. Let's put they on there too. What about an adjective? Right? We can use a color. That's right. What's another adjective? Cold. We'll write hot too. Good job. What's a verb? What's an example of a verb? Like we said earlier, walk. I heard dance. Dance is a great one. And what about an adverb? Let's see, we're describing nice. Like we used very. Good job. Or a lot of our adverbs end in ly. That's a good hint that the word is an adverb. Not all adverbs end in ly, as we can see with very. Quickly. Good job. So we could also put slowly. We could say the snail moved slowly. Slowly describes moved. Right? Good job. And moved is a verb. Sure, we can write that one under there. Let's come up with one more noun. Book, great. Let's put a girl. And let's do a place. The house. Okay. So make sure you have all of those examples written down on your graphic organizer. Give you a second to do that. Okay, now that you've done that, I want you to write down the sentence with me. He rides a red bike carefully. And now I want you to go through each word in the sentence and decide what part of speech the word belongs to. Use your graphic organizer to help you. That has some examples on it now, so you can compare these words to that. And I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. Okay, now that you've had a couple minutes to look at your sentence, let's do it up here on the board. What kind of word is he? A pronoun. Very good. What about rides? A verb. Good. An article. Why did we use a instead of an in the sentence? Because R starts with a consonant. Great job. Oh, what is red? Adjective. Good job. What about bike? A noun. And carefully is an adverb. Good job. I think you guys are ready for our last activity. Now I want you to write either one or two sentences, and I want you to use each part of speech that we learned today. So nouns, articles, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. I want an example of each one in your sentences, and I want you to underline it and label them. Okay.